Yes, guys, and welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the three-man online game with myself, Pep, and Ian as we fast approach the real business end of season 147. Now, I'm hoping that we'll get a little bit of game time in tonight. I was actually hopeful we might get some in over the Easter period because I knew what Pep was off, but I didn't allow for Ian might not be available. That was the case, which was a bit shit. But, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, and I always say that's what makes this game so unique. Because we're not sort of firing sessions out every day. If you were to play a session every single day, there'd be an element of, right, you know, I need a break. And when you have a break, like a planned break, that's when sometimes, you know, the game can go a bit dead. Bit like when you have a network game with multiple people and people don't turn up for a session and so on and so on. Why is that done like that? Okay, so let me show you where we're at. Why is that done that? Okay, so let's do it on me then. Manchester City, season 147. The business end is fast approaching, and that is the situation. A terrible session from Ian recently. It's not lit up as you've seen. It says not playing. But actually a very good session for me. I cannot grumble. Now, it could have been more. It should have been more, to be honest with you, the gap. Because right over here, Crystal Palace, we drew 1-1. I was really pissed off. To draw a game, I was so pissed off. But little did I realise that at the same time, Pep and Ian played each other and finished 1-1. So that was an opportunity for me. But we're 6 clear anyway. We've got the League Cup semi-final coming up against Crystal Palace. Whilst Pep will take on Bradford in the other semi-final. The FA Cup is concluded. I don't know if the fifth round draw's not been made yet. But we're through there. You see at the top there, Man United are through as well. You know, for me personally, we've had a good run of late. We've had a really good run. But we're way past the halfway stage now. Pep, well, this, as I said this before, this would be, if Pep wasn't to make the title this year, this would be 39 seasons since he last won the Premier League title. And it's little short of a disgrace. It's unacceptable. But he's not out of it yet. He's 12 points off the pace. And I've still got to play Man U and Southampton this season, and they can be game changers. You know, obviously they can be game changers. For Ian, let's take a bit of a focus on Ian here. There you see, drew with Southampton, drew with Villa, drew with Fulham. There was a real shock. Now, it was Notts County. The Notts County defeat was just outrageous. You know, we all get it, don't we? We get these bad run. I mean, Doncaster away didn't deserve that, really. Deserved a victory. Away to Fulham. Deserved a victory. Home to Aston Villa. Should have won it. Red card probably the costly one there. You know, you got to feel for him. And he went out the League Cup, of course, to Pep in the 4th round. Deservedly. I think well done to Pep. This is the thing, though, with Pep, yeah. He is your cup team, isn't he? He's your cup team. And for him to have not won the title in 39 years is just outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. Away from the poor run at the moment of league form from Ian, he's still got some real good, consistent players. Sure, he was my ex-player. Of course he was. He was my ex-player. So still looking good for Ian. Over to Southampton. Now, Pep has been busy bee. Now I'll tell you something, right? I'm going to tell you something. I made a deal. I sold a player. I sold a player that you might think, why did I sell such a good player? We all sell players for one reason or another. We don't always like to indulge too much. I got rid of a player because he was being a bit of a nuisance. And despite he looks a fucking gem, I'm going to show you this player. Right, he wasn't a regular for me. And when he did come in, he got me a shit performance. So I knew that I could get some make weight in a deal. I mean, I think he's fucking amazing. And I actually think, right, if I'm really honest, I think he's ideal for Pep, given the Pep's using wingers. So I made a deal, right. I put him on the market, and Pep came in with a deal. And Pep was offering me X amount of money and some youngsters. I went back to Pep and I said, those youngsters. And I think I sent him 4 youngsters, and I said 3 of those youngsters and this amount of money, and we've got a deal. Pep came back to me and offered me exactly that, right? He offered me these 3 youngsters, three youngsters of this 4. They're only youngsters, so I'm going to show you these youngsters right now, the youngsters that I got off Pep. Philip Albert, they are youngsters, so they're not going to be first teamers, okay? Actually, sorry, tell a lie, 2 youngsters and that goalkeeper. Right, so you can see where I'm leading with this, yeah? And then Ian came in for the Turkish player. Ian then came in for the Turkish player, and I'll be honest with you, right, he offered me a deal that I'd have bit his hand off outright before the Pep deal. He offered me a good exchange. I think it was 2 players. I forget the 2 players he offered me, but it was a deal that I really wanted. So I said to Pep, I said, I'm not going to pull out a deal. I gave him my word I'd accept it. And I did, right? I accepted the deal. So I accepted Ian's deal, and I said, right, I'm going to let the guy decide, let Sari decide where he wants to go. If he goes to Southampton, that's the deal. If he goes to Man U, that's the deal. And to my disgust, he chose Southampton. I was shocked. I didn't think he'd choose Southampton, but either way, it is what it is. And, you know, that's that. Now, let me show you something now. Let me remind you that I am Holland still. Now, I can't remember if I had this on the last video or not. I don't think I did. Maybe I did actually, yeah, thinking about it. So now I've set the world alight with Ruben Schmidt. That is Robben Regen, and he's now officially in my, well, he's not actually, I can put him in my Dutch team. Now I've got him, that the guys can't swipe him. I have listed him, and let me explain why I listed him, because I was hoping to use him as a make weight in a deal. Particularly, I think he would suit Pep, because he's a winger, but Pep wasn't interested because he brought the Turk. But not a massive issue, because, you know, we're still going well. We're still going very, very well indeed. We've altered, did I have that last time? We changed it a little bit. We have got a long-term injury, I think, somewhere. One of our attacking midfielders, unfortunately, we've got a lot of depth in attacking midfield, but Vargas is out then, I think it was 3 months at the time, 13 assists, and he's out for a period, you know, it's a bit of a shitter. It is a shitter. But with the attacking midfielders, because I'm playing that formation, you understand why I opted to sell the Turk. If I could get an exchange deal, Crawford, I mean, look at Crawford. 14 goals, 14 assists is fucking crazy. 28 goal involvements in 31. And he's playing, of course, alongside the Ronaldo Regen Pacheco, who he's got that free roll. And then, of course, behind over here, we've got Litvinov. There you go, 22 goal involvements, 8-10 average rating. And then we've got Garcia, 12 goal involvements in 8 starts. So you can see why I was doing. And then we brought in Schmidt, of course. We've got the central midfielders as well. Let me remind you, it comes up in a minute. We've still got Egarart. Is it Egarart? Who I think might be Di Marie, I think. Then we've got the central midfielders. Now that guy, I know that guy is, and that's Xavi. And he's not done brilliant for me the last few seasons. But he's actually not done too bad. Jakobsen is a central midfielder. But since I've altered it a little bit, it's very difficult to get him in there. So this is why I got rid of the attacking midfielder. So that's where we're at then. That is where we're at with... We should have got rid of that guy, but the deal fell through. Fucking bellend. So that's the League Cup, the FA Cup, and in terms of the Champions League, we're all looking good in the Champions League. I don't see there being any changes in the Champions League. We'll all make the quarterfinals. We should all win our group. It's really a case of winning the group is one thing, because you've got to avoid one another, or potentially avoid one another, and then the semi-final is where it's at. And of course, the semi-final, I've avoided Pep in the League Cup there. So it's likely, I say likely, me and Pep in the final. Can Pep retain the League Cup? Who knows? In terms of the FA Cup, I think I won that last year, didn't I? Can I retain the FA Cup? Who knows? Let me just remind myself who won the Charity Shield. Yeah, it was me. I can't remember. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting season. It really is. And that's it from me, guys, on the Free Man. Till next time, take it easy.